but it makes me question, like you said, Grace, like how much of my ancestry and tradition and culture I actually know about. I think it's probably very limited.
Right. I fear I'm not going to understand that on this podcast, but I will look into that. Oh, so actually the answer to my question is kind of the reverse of what I maybe expected. We need to get some stats on this, I think. I'm interested.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rice Among Potatoes. So in one of the episodes, you would have remembered me saying, I've got sort of one colleague that I'm thinking of. She could come up and ask me anything about where I'm from. So today I am joined by that colleague.
Hello.
So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a Q&A session. I've prepared some questions, and Grace, you have as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of this is we can get to know each other's cultures better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have grown up experiencing things and not understand what it's like to grow up in a white family. So this is our opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you enjoy this, please like and subscribe and share with a friend who may also want to learn about different cultures. Before we get started, Grace, do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, so I'm Grace and I work with Vince and Yunnan. And we've known each other probably for 7 years now.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah.
So you are extremely friendly.
Yeah.
So hence why kind of Grace has a really good relationship with almost everyone in the office. So hence why she's with us here today.
Bit of a busybody.
It's just your personality.
Yeah.
Okay. So, first question. You can have the honors.
I'll go first. Okay. So my first question is, which I thought of when you were speaking to Jan a couple of episodes ago. So we were talking about how is it okay to kind of identify someone with their race? So is it okay for me to kind of go, oh, Vince, the Asian guy in my team? But then my question around that is Asian racist? Or maybe not racist, but not accurate, because an Asian person could be from India, right? So it's not a good identifier. So what should I be saying?
That is true, actually, because I've actually said Asian myself, and then someone has corrected me and said, no, we're actually Oriental. But then some people say Oriental is actually...
Yeah, I've heard Oriental is not okay.
Is not okay. I've heard both. I don't think I felt offended in any way, but I think Asian is just a really broad term.
Yeah, I think maybe a lot of people would just go for Indian, or do you know what I mean? True. If they were going to, whereas I'm obviously quite hyper aware about these things, I'd probably say South Asian if I was trying to reference someone who I wasn't sure where they were from, but I knew it was kind of that way on. So maybe I'm saying Asian to mean kind of China and those surrounding areas. And then I'd just specify South Asian.
If you see a brown person and you say, the Indian guy in the room, he might not be Indian, he might be Pakistani.
Exactly, yeah.
Or Bangladeshi.
Yeah.
Sri Lankan.
Even with Chinese, because if you say like, the Chinese guy in the room, they might be Thai, Korean, Japanese.
Exactly.
So what do you say?
Is it East Asian?
It's Far East. I'd say Far East and then Southeast. So for like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore.
Got it.
Vietnam, Thailand area.
Yeah.
And then the South Asia for sort of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So that's how I would sort of see the difference.
Okay.
But sort of Asian to me encompasses all of it. Just like European will encompass all of Europe. It doesn't matter which country within Europe you come from.
So even though I might not be identifying someone, ideally, if there's an Indian person sat next to a Chinese person, I'm not going to offend anyone by saying Asian.
No, I think they'll both just turn around.
Yeah.
And I think it's better than saying like...
Assuming.
Assuming. Yeah.
I think don't assume.
Yes. Yeah.
My wife is Thai, and she hates it when people assume like, are you Chinese? Are you Japanese?
Yeah.
I think like, don't assume. I think just ask.
Like, yes.
Not where you're from. Is it?
Yeah, it's back to where you're from.
This question again. Okay.
Ask it, but
be sincere.
Yeah. And ask it in the context that I'm here to actually try and address you correctly and learn about you.
That's a really good point, actually, because something that really bothers me is when someone has a name that they're not sure how to pronounce. I will always say, I'm really sorry, could you just tell me how to pronounce your name? Because I don't want to say it wrong. It really upsets me when people just give it a go. And especially if you know it's wrong, it makes me cringe so bad. And then what's even worse is when someone introduces themselves at the top of a call and then someone will continue to say it wrong. And I'm like, if you log onto a call and someone's got a funny name that you don't, well, not a funny name, but you don't recognise it, you don't know how to say it, to pay attention when they introduce themselves so you get it right.
Yeah, and remember it.
Yes, and make a conscious effort. I think it's the least you can do.
As long as it's sincere, and as long as you take the time to ask and get to know, I don't think anyone will be offended.
And just on the thing about the name, I think on calls, I'm less, so Yunnan is more difficult to pronounce than like Western name. But actually it's a really easy name. I don't really mind whichever way you pronounce Yunnan. But it does gripe me a little bit when people get it wrong in writing.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's right there. You could have taken the extra 3 seconds to look at it, you know.
I'm not gonna lie though, some names can be quite difficult. And I feel like the people would know, like, my name is very difficult to pronounce. And I think if they know, then, and you ask, I think that's a better thing to do than just to assume. And like make a hash of it.
And sorry, I'm really dragging my first question out really long. But can you remember our ex-colleague, and she won't mind me mentioning her name, Ankita? So her name, she's an Indian name, would actually pronounce like Unkita or something like that. Probably butchered it. Sorry, Ankita. But we spoke about it. And we kind of landed on, it would actually be insane in my accent to speak how I do, and then all of a sudden kind of just put on an Indian accent for that one word. So she was kind of okay with it, but like you say, we spoke about it, and then that's how we worked out. And likewise, if we spoke about it and she said, no, actually, I'd like you to pronounce my name properly, then that's what I would have landed on. I would have done that for her. But I think it all just comes down to, doesn't it? Just ask and be sincere. So my next question stems from a time when a senior manager came up to me and said, we should represent more of the kind of holidays around the globe. You find out what people want to participate in, what we should be celebrating, blah, blah, blah. So I, as a grad, essentially was going around the team and finding anyone who looked different to me and saying, hey, what holidays do you celebrate in your culture, and should we do that? And looking back, I don't really feel that okay about that now. But my question is, do you ever feel kind of pressure to represent your community? And would that have been a nice thought for you? Or would it have been, actually, you're just coming up to me because I look a bit different to you, and now I'm pressured into saying, I want to celebrate Chinese holidays, when maybe you don't even care? I don't know.
I don't think I'll ever feel offended if anyone came up to me and asked about Chinese or Lunar New Year, because I think like it will be in a work environment or any environment. I think if people ask that particular question, it's from a good place. Because you're trying to learn about like in like the Indian culture, Diwali, and that sort of thing. I feel like if you know to ask, it's from a good place, and I won't be offended.
I think for me, it's sort of, am I even qualified to talk about it?
Okay.
Because I feel, having grown up here, my connection isn't as strong as someone who, like E, or even John, who've been in China more of their lives than I have. So I think I'd probably say, go talk to others in the team who will probably know more than I do. But I'm not sure whether that's right or wrong now, given maybe I should be representing my community more.
Well, I guess that's the question. Do you feel pressured to represent your community?
No, I don't.
Do you feel detached from it in some way, I guess?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. I don't know.
I know, because like what you're saying, I'm like, well, I'm not qualified to. I was born here, for Christ's sake. And like my mum would do things, my mum and dad would celebrate in a certain way, and I'm there going, why are we doing this? Like, and I'll question a lot of things. But now thinking about it, actually, your question might actually make me question myself, thinking, should I actually know more about my own culture than I do? Because you've obviously come to me from a good place and asked me, well, what do you do for Chinese New Year? And if I'm there going, I don't know, that actually looks bad on me.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? Because as far as I'm concerned, you do you. You know, you're. But I wonder how maybe someone who was born and raised in China might feel about you saying that.
Yeah, my mum will be very disappointed in me saying that. So I'm sorry to my ancestors, all of them. But no, I know it's like my cousins. It's a big thing in Hong Kong. So like Chinese New Year, they do a big thing about it. So the tradition is like the younger generation or the younger siblings would go to the older siblings to what they call Baili, which is
to wish them a happy new year.
Yeah, to wish them a happy new year. So that's like a big tradition. And then the older generations would give these red packets to the kids. So these sort of traditions I have come across to the UK, and we still get that. But then I don't know if it's because I just get money out of it, so I accept it.
Oh, that's what's in the packets.
Yeah, in the packets is money. So that's almost the only thing that I remember. We also eat vegetarian food during Chinese New Year.
Do you?
Yeah, you sik zai.
Oh, okay.
Or we did anyway.
Oh, okay.
I need to fact check this with my mum actually. But I like there is a meal where you like eat vegetarian, and like this like certain things you do and you don't do. Like you have to wash your hair or like change your bedding to get rid of the bad luck from the past year or whatever.
Wow. So even Yunan's learning.
I'm learning. We don't do this. The odd one that I've been called out on is I don't cut my hair in the first month of the Lunar New Year every year. Because so like for us it's sort of it's not good for your uncle if you cut your hair during
Why is it just for your uncle?
I don't know. But for us, it's bad for your uncle. So for my uncle's health, I never cut my hair during the first lunar month of the year.
Wow.
That's something I do. But I always cut before the first month.
Just to make sure.
Previous year. And then actually on the second of the second month of the Lunar New Year, it's for us, it's called Long Tai Tou. So it's really good to get your hair cut on that day because it means a fresh start to the new year and ready to get going again.
Well, I feel like you guys are definitely qualified to represent your community.
But also very different.
I've just learned so much. But yeah, interesting that you both do things differently.
Traditions that sort of stayed within the families that, and I don't know, but it makes me question, like you said, Grace, like how much of my ancestry and tradition and culture I actually know about. I think it's probably very limited.
Because we've grown up in a Western society where we're a little bit whitewashed, right? So I think for me, like when I'm asked about these things, I do get, like when you asked, I was like, oh God, I don't know any of this. So I'm so ashamed. But then like my Cantonese is actually quite good for a British-born Chinese. So I would actually take kind of comfort that, do you know what, like there are some things that I've done well in terms of getting to know my heritage, where I'm from, my own language. But there are definitely points where I can improve on.
I feel like that too. I think I'm in agreement with you. And I think it's probably why we're doing this in the first place, which is sort of realizing what we know and realizing there's so much more to know about.
No, 100% actually, because I can't read or write Chinese, but I can speak almost like a native. So just imagine like you going into a restaurant, speaking like you speak, them handing you a menu, and you suddenly go, I can't read this menu. So that's like things that I need to face when I'm in Hong Kong. Just because I'm good at speaking Cantonese, I'm suddenly in a restaurant going, can I get the picture menu, please? Or the English menu? And they'll look at me so funny. And even like someone would tell, like my uncle would say, oh, we're meeting in this restaurant, in this location. And he says it in Chinese. Because I can't write, I can't actually write down where the restaurant is. I can't find it on Google. So I'm like, do you have the English name? So there's like these things that actually I wouldn't be able to do.
That's so interesting then. Is that because your parents spoke to you in Cantonese but then never, like, you know, when you sit down with a toddler and you read a book, they never did that bit?
No,
So, you know, in English it's phonetic, or all European alphabets. It's all phonetic. You can spell it out from the way it sounds. So in Chinese, it's all characters.
Yeah.
So it's all calligraphy. It's all characters. So each character will be different, but each character has a specific sound. You have to learn a whole new character for every single sound.
It's like 3,000 characters just in like daily speak.
Yeah, 3,000 to 5,000, I think.
Yeah.
So, say for example, the sound E, you would have to map that sound to a character.
Yeah, and there will be like 20 different characters with all the same sound, and that's used in different cases. So E is like the number 1.
Yeah.
Which has a character, but E, we have a colleague called E, but her name is written in a completely different character.
Right. I fear I'm not going to understand that on this podcast, but I will look into that.
No, on that though, so like, let's say there's a certain sound like ma, there's different tones.
Yeah.
Like in Thai, there's like 5 tones. In Cantonese, I think there's like
9, I think.
9 tones. So
Mandarin, there's 4.
like, you think ma, like M-A, you can say it like ma, 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 ma. That's Thai.
Yeah.
I don't even know the Cantonese one.
Yeah, so Mandarin's ma, 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 which is like 4 different
Even
It's crazy because to me I'm hearing ma, 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 ma.
Yeah. And then, but I guess the difference is in Mandarin or in Putonghua, there is pinyin, which helps to write it out in sort of
phonetically.
Phonetically in Roman characters.
Okay.
Like your name, you, Nan.
Yeah, so that's a Romanized version.
Yeah, I am bamboozled.
Yeah.
But I am really interested. Maybe you could do a podcast episode about
Okay,
stuff
fine.
like that.
We'll do a Chinese language podcast.
Yeah.
For Grace.
And I'll just be the whole time, but I am interested.
I'll be learning too, to be fair. So.
Oh no, I can't teach.
We'll get someone qualified.
Yeah, we'll get someone.
Anyway.
Perfect.
Wait, did you actually answer the question?
Yes. My question was, have you felt pressured to represent your community? And I think we spoke about that.
Yes. Yeah. I guess actually this podcast as well is not pressure.
No.
This podcast is me wanting to represent the community. And I think a lot of Asians, well, I hope a lot of Asians, if you went to ask them more about Chinese New Year, would want to like speak about it and show the Chinese culture.
Yeah, and I it's a good time to say that I absolutely love this podcast as a white person specifically, because there was a huge movement in kind of 2020 around being anti-racist. Like, it's not enough to just be not racist, you need to be anti-racist. And then there was kind of, okay, well, how do I do that? And basically the answers were kind of reading, listening to podcasts, watching films, because it isn't at the time the movement was kind of around George Floyd and Black Lives Matter and things like that. And the kind of sentiment that I got was, it isn't your black friends' responsibility to teach you about their culture. So what you two are actually doing is really helpful for people like me, because I want to be an anti-racist, then I don't want to come up to you guys and I don't want to say, spend your time teaching me how to be a better friend to you. So this is really helpful for me, because I'm really interested in understanding about your culture and understanding how to not say things that offend you. So as well as just enjoying the podcast, and nearly everyone I've told about it thinks that the name is hilarious, and it is, it's actually really helpful for me, because I can get all this knowledge without kind of putting pressure on you to tell me about your culture, because you're doing it because you want to. So it's kind of nice.
Thank you, Grace.
That's all right. So my next question is it your preference to hang out with other East Asian people, or do you kind of not have a preference? You want to be friends with everybody?
I have no preference. I hang out with whomever. I think I have very good friends who are white.
No, for sure. The way I see people when I first interact with them is, you're just a human being. And I don't know if this is good or bad, actually. Like, I wouldn't see your race, where you're from, what gender you are, what beliefs you have. I see you as a person, first and foremost. Then I want to get to know you as a person, because I think, like, you may look at Yuna and I and think, or some people might think, to Chinese or Asian people, but actually we're very different. So I would see people as who they are first. And then if I connect with you in some sort of way, then that's how the relationship develops. So for instance, like if I meet someone, could be white, could be Asian, but they love like laksa, something like that. Then it'll be like, yes, let's go. I know this really good place down the road. Let's go for laksa. Like,
but who doesn't love laksa?
Well, you don't like food, so.
I mean, I love food. What do you mean?
But so it's like stuff like this, and you're like, oh yeah, let's go get laksa, or like we both climb. Oh, let's go climbing one day. So I think you connect that way. And to get to your question, I feel like for me anyway, I connect very much on food, and because I eat a lot of Asian food, I would tend to connect with other Asians because we'd reminisce on like, oh, I really want this type of dish, whatever. And I know this really good place. Let's go together. Then we'll go together. I think you'll naturally form a better bond. But if, like, let's say for a Westerner, they might not know this certain dish or it's not part of their childhood. Yeah. So then they won't feel that connection. Hence, we won't go there together, and hence we won't be as close.
Yeah, we've definitely connected on food. We've been to loads of places on your recommendations.
Yes.
What was the other thing I was going to say? I actually realised quite recently the only people I connect with are people who are silly. It's just my whole life is just nonsense, and as soon as I find someone who's prepared to be silly, I'm like, yes, we can be friends.
I'm like that too. I think that's why we get along. I'm quite silly outside of work.
Yeah.
I'm silly at work sometimes too. And like, let's say people from Hong Kong, like people from China who like born there, spent most of their life there. I actually feel like I can be less silly with them, and I actually can be more silly with, let's say you, because we connect with English, with other like British-born people, because we can have that fluid communication. But actually, going back to your question, sometimes I don't feel like I connect as well with like straight Hong Kong people, straight Chinese people, because there is that little bit of a language barrier.
I think there is. I agree with that. I think there is.
Oh, so actually the answer to my question is kind of the reverse of what I maybe expected.
And even like when I was in Hong Kong, I thought like Chinese is okay conversationally, but actually like joking around or like working in Cantonese, it's slightly different. The humor is slightly different as well. And actually what I found was when I was there, I didn't get a lot of that humor, but I would sometimes feel, I think I connect better with people from the UK. But I think I also connect better with other ethnic minorities in the UK because we would have experienced similar things. So I've got a lot of like British-born Indian friends, British-born like Chinese friends, and we would actually connect the best because we have that language, like be able to speak to each other like really quickly, and also we would understand like what we're going through, the family cultures and that sort of thing.
They say if you can be funny in another language, then you can really speak that language.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned this as well, right? She was like, she's a completely different person in Mandarin.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she's a completely different person.
She can be our Mandarin teacher.
I mean, that was that was what we said at the end of the last episode. E to come back on, and we'll do an episode in Mandarin.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's two people calling for that then. Yeah. Oh, although I won't understand it if it's in Mandarin.
She speaks English.
We could do subs.
Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. My next question is, I guess, me desperately trying to be anti-racist and being paranoid about it, I guess. So the question is, the question is, should I be reading into things as much as I am, / would you have noticed this? So a guy joined our team who appeared to be East Asian, and he wrote on the kind of new joiners blog page a bit about him, and I always read that because I'm always keen to know who's joined so I can say hello to them and, you know, I don't know, say, I noticed you wrote this, I can connect with you on this kind of thing, but in a much less cringy way than that, I hope. So he wrote on that he plays golf, and he says, oh, I've just moved from this country, if you play golf, let me know. And when I introduced myself to him, I said, oh, my friend Vince, he plays golf. So you guys should connect and you should go play golf together. And then it was only a couple of days later that I thought, oh my God, did he think that I just linked in Vince because Vince is East Asian and he appears to be East Asian, when really, obviously, I genuinely meant Vince plays golf, which you do. Yeah. You should play golf together. And my question is then, are you ever kind of seeing that? Do you know, if you got that email, would you have thought, does she just think we're two Asian people, East Asian people, who should hang out, or is she being sincere?
Right, I'm not very close to my feelings. I don't read as much into things, so I wouldn't have realised it. But that's my very personal view. But I know others would, and they will think about this. I don't know.
I wouldn't too. I think because you led with golf.
Yeah.
Like if you said, "Oh, there's another Asian on the team, Vince, you should go meet him," then no.
Yeah.
That's a no. But it's like, if it's golf, then it could be anyone. Like,
yeah.
You enjoy music, you enjoy whatever. I don't think, I wouldn't read into.
Yeah, I guess I should just have more faith in the fact that I come across as someone who genuinely wanted you to connect to golf, and that is what I was doing. Just for the record.
Like going back to the first point, like you saying, as long as it comes from a genuine place, I honestly think you can. Well, to me anyway, you can say or ask anything, and we won't take it the wrong way. And if you said that and someone did take it the wrong way, I would say to that person, look, don't take it so personally. Like this girl just clearly said there's another person that enjoys golf. That is the fact.
They happen
to know whether they're doing that because you're Asian, because you're whatever. Like, don't read into that. Just be glad, do you know what, there's a nice employee here who's trying to help me fit in. So I don't think there is any problem.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, my next question is on dating. So, when back in the day I was dating and on the apps and whatever, I would be, presented with a whole load of different types of people, and I'd basically just be like, do I think they're hot or not? Yes, no, yes, no. And my question is, you're kind of dating, when you were dating, do you date other East Asian people, or do you get a whole load of people and you're just, do I think they're hot or not? Yes or no?
I think hot or not, yes or no.
Okay.
But I think because I was born here, grew up here, I was exposed to both. I find attractiveness in both. So it would just be hot or not. But I do think that whoever you date, it goes back to, do you actually connect with them on things? So like, it could be, if we like the same music, if we like the same food, if we do the same activities, I think that's more important than race. When you get to know like an East Asian who like maybe went to school here or grew up here, there are more things that you connect on. Just like, again, like with the food, you might kind of reminisce on the same foods or
culture.
Same cultures. You'll understand like, oh, do you know what? I need to do this with my uncles and aunties when I go back to Hong Kong. Like, they'll understand that better, and it makes the relationship a lot easier. Whereas when I was not dating a Southeast Asian or East Asian, I found the dynamic of the relationship to be a lot more different. It's more kind of me learning about the Western culture, her learning about the East Asian culture, and that was the dynamic. So it was a lot of kind of trying new things, like understanding this. But actually, when I was dating someone that's East Asian, it was like, oh yeah, let's do this together. So it was more connection there than just learning. It was something more familiar.
Yeah, so I guess I'm quite similar. I wouldn't rule anyone out based on their race. But if you look at my dating history, it's very predominantly, well, actually not predominant, it's just all dating East Asians.
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess like you say, like if you could find anyone attractive, but I guess connecting to someone on a deep level, someone you want to hang out with every day, you want someone who understands you, I guess, and kind of where you came from and things like that.
I think when I look at my friendship circle, I know a lot of, interracial couples, is that the right way to say it? But also like same race couples. I see examples of both. And
I guess it depends what you look for in a relationship, right? Because for me, I prefer the familiarity and like you connect with them. But I do like the my wife is Thai, so I got a little bit of the new culture as well. So I do like that side as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm trying to think about my dating history. I don't know if I ever dated an East Asian person, but I definitely dated people from different cultures. But yeah, probably not long enough to kind of like go and meet their parents and everything. So it's hard to say. God, I actually sound like, I've just only dated white people.
You've only dated.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, yeah.
And I think.
Yeah.
But then from us though, I guess the answer is yes. Like we would want to date someone similar because you're saying, like, actually, you've only predominantly dated white people. You've predominantly dated
small sample though. Small sample though. I mean,
I'm saying I've dated both, and I wouldn't change my choice.
Yeah, but I know a lot of friends who are mixed race couples, and they wouldn't exist if everyone felt this way. So I think it's a small sample size.
We need to get some stats on this, I think. I'm interested.
Should I do a vote thing on the video?
And maybe I'll look at my personal stats. But do I want to reveal my sample size?
Anyway,
we digress.
Offline conversation.
Yeah. It made me howl on the episode when someone said, let's take that offline. And I was like, guys, we're not working now. So my next question was kind of comes to you from my friend Tina, who is Slovenian.
Hi, Tina.
And she came to the UK to go to uni, and she went on a kind of night out. And on this night out, everyone was screaming Mr. Brightside. And this was a while ago because I think Mr. Brightside is not cool anymore, and I certainly don't like it. But when I was at uni as well, if that song came on, people would be like screaming, like absolutely going mad. And my question is, do you understand the cultural significance of that, even though you were born and raised here?
I don't know the song, so I don't know any of the...
You don't know Mr. Brightside?
No, I don't. I know it is a song. That
Mr. Brightside. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's the most I got. I know it's a song.
It was just this huge thing. Like, so when was I at uni? So definitely I left uni in 2018. So definitely pre-2018. I don't know what the kids were doing post then. But before that, like, if that song came out on a night out, people loved it. And would scream every lyric, every word, the whole thing. And like now I'm aware that it's not cool anymore. But I just think it's kind of crazy that you guys have lived here have you lived here your whole life?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The majority.
Yeah, that's completely bypassed you.
Both of us are older. We went to uni around the same time.
But I think
I was one of those who were belting it out, Mr. Brightside.
Were you?
Oh, okay.
What, even when you were at uni?
I might have been past uni.
Okay.
I think it was like dying out while I was at uni. So when were you there?
I graduated 2011.
What? This is a whole other thing about how Asian people don't age.
I'm actually 52.
And I think that's an okay thing for me to have said.
Yes.
It's a compliment. Because Tina, when she got here, was like, I think she was probably aware of the song, but was just like, why does everyone love it?
There's a new song, right? Sweet Caroline. That's been big for for a number of years, since the Euro final between England and Italy at Wembley.
Yeah.
Right?
That's been associated to women's football though, isn't it? That song.
No, that was the men's final.
Just general football, I think.
Yeah, general football, but also at the cricket.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's one of those songs, it's a bit like Come On Eileen. Like there's just kind of like, trying to think of other examples. Yeah,
No,
well that's
actually,
football.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Come On Eileen and Sweet Caroline are songs that if you play at like a wedding, everyone knows every word.
But was it big before like the 2020 Euros finals?
Yeah, I think so.
Was it? Okay. Because that's when it came to prominence for me, when like at the finals they played it on the sound system and then it was the whole stadium was singing.
And were you a bit like...
I was like, wow. I mean, no, I think before I knew of the song, but it never felt that big. But when it's Wembley singing 90,000 strong and every man, woman and child is belting out the words, you're like, okay, so there's cultural significance to this song.
We grew up with it, so we know it, but it hadn't gone overseas, so she wouldn't have known it.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that even though you guys lived here your whole life, you've kind of missed it.
No, I like Mr. Brightside.
Well, no, but we kind of... Okay.
I've missed it. I said, but I think that's talking about me as a person rather than the Asian community here.
So you are British, But then there'll be loads of things, right, that you are just like straight over your head, even though you were born and raised here. When you were younger, did you watch like CBBC, like 50/50, and what else? Like The Queen's Nose, Bernard's Watch.
I wonder if this is an age thing.
I saw The Queen's Nose. That was like the 50p pence one, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that. I saw that. But I watched a lot of Pokemon and Digimon and like
That's
Dragon
quite
Ball.
Asian. I feel like Pokemon and Digimon are quite Asian.
I watched a lot of Japanese anime.
I'm trying to think what my brother's older than me, what he would have been watching. Yeah, Rugrats. But to be fair, my brother watched a lot of Pokemon.
Because the Pokemon guy, he's Asian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the cartoon.
Ash, yeah. He's
Asian representation.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it.
But Jessie and
Jesse and
they're
Jane.
not Asian, right?
I think it's hard to tell.
Well,
yeah, it's a cartoon.
To your point though.
Yeah.
Like for me, like when I was young, like growing up in primary school, like we would actually watch Asian TV programs.
Okay.
So we would watch like Hong Kong series and that sort of thing. So we'd rarely watch Western TV other than like the 10 o'clock news.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there'll be a lot of TV programs in the 90s or whatever that I would have missed. Music as well, like when I was in university. Actually, no, in school, like growing up, I would listen to both Western and Chinese music.
Okay.
So I'd listen to like Jay Chou and like the Hong Kong
Mando
Canto pop, Mando pop,
Yeah.
Japanese pop, K-pop. Like I'd still listen to those.
Okay.
Listen to country music, so American, and then you've got the pop culture in the UK. So actually, like there'll be a lot of UK pop culture that sometimes in our team meetings we'll talk about, and I'm just like, whoosh, no idea. And TV as well.
Talking about music, I know we're going off tangent, but it's really interesting. Did you hear? I haven't read this story, but I think Oasis came back.
Oh yeah.
I think Oasis came back.
No.
Yeah, they did.
I think Oasis came back.
Didn't you go?
Yeah, I went.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
I tried. But I think a few days ago, one of the band members came out and said something derogatory about Asians.
Really?
What? Which one?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
well, I can check. Your phones are occupied, but here we go. I'm going to Google here. Oasis.
I don't want to. You might have just ruined Oasis for us.
Oasis's Liam Gallagher apologises for using racial slur. And he put, sorry if I offended anyone with my tweet because it was unintentional. You know, I love you all and I do not discriminate, peace and love. Okay, I'm not going to read that out, but this is what he said.
Okay, that's not good then.
It's not, yeah, it's certainly racist.
Yeah. With or without context, I don't think you should say that.
100% agree. And like, also like, weird thing to say, like, what's the purpose?
There's no other words. It's one
yeah,
word.
exactly.
What's the point?
Your listeners will have to
Google that.
To Google that themselves, because yeah, we're not saying that.
We had songs, right, when we were in primary school, like, and nicknames.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
Because I played tennis with another like Chinese guy, so he was also a British one. His surname was Wong, and we were known as Wing and Wong.
That is so terrible.
But then I went along with that. That's sort of on a similar level, right?
It's really interesting. You were speaking about it on your previous podcast about these kind of like, at the time they seem playful, now you look back, so problematic. And I think it's definitely kind of a moving with the times situation. It would never happen now, I like to think.
Yes.
But it gets to, I think sometimes it gets there's an overreaction to it. And so I remember playing Articulate in university with some really good friends of mine, still very good friends of mine. And I remember it was Kat who said, I got this word, but I can't say it. The word she had was like armor. So she was trying to describe armor. So, and afterwards I'm like, well, there's a really easy way to describe armor. You just say chink in the
armor.
Right?
But that's just an actual word though.
Yes.
But how would you describe that in Articulate?
It would be chink in your armor, no?
It was just, the word was articulate, right? So she could have described it as being a chink in the, but she didn't want to say the word chink in the description.
Okay.
So, and I was like, but why? She's like, well, I don't know whether you'd be offended or not.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, I wouldn't have. But thank you for...
I wouldn't have, but now I'm a bit, I feel iffy about it.
But no, thank you for like realising it.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword because it's kind of like, yeah, thank you for thinking about me, But also, like,
I wanted to win, articulate.
and also, like,
You didn't need to.
yeah, I think maybe that's like being kind of like oversensitive, which, like, you know, I've said I feel guilty that I'm sometimes oversensitive about things, and sometimes you kind of end up being racist because you're trying so hard not to be racist, because then you're kind of saying, like,
But that word would be racist if they meant it that way.
exactly. So the context is really important there. Whereas the issue with Liam Gallagher's tweet here is there is no context.
Yeah.
There is no context. I mean, even if there was context, that wouldn't be okay. I've just print screened. How old am I? I've screenshotted someone's response on Reddit, which is really eloquently put on that and doesn't actually mention what he says. So I'll send that to you, and you can like put it on your socials or whatever, if you want. Just so we don't kind of butcher that topic, and maybe this whole thing's been a bit here, there, and everywhere. But yeah.
What was the original question? Music. It was about music.
It was about culture.
It was about how whether you've missed out on things.
Yeah.
Even though you're born and raised here. Like
I think yes. I think for sure.